I was born in 1980. A lot of Cub Scouts going around when I was a kid. A lot of D.A.R.E program. Whole lot of D.A.R.E program. Look, even as a kid, it was clearly absurd. Like, it's based on the idea that marijuana is a gateway to harder drugs. They always backed it up with stats that were clearly made up. Like, I remember our D.A.R.E officer saying, well, 95% of people who smoke crack also smoke marijuana. It's like, that's obviously made up because crackheads don't take surveys. Right? Like, where'd you get the figures from, man? Like, are you really trying to tell us there's a socially conscious crack dealer who is quizzing crackheads and then reporting back to the government? Like, then the most ridiculous stat was, and they thought they could get this on us because it has a fraction in it. They're like, 1/3 of people who die in car accidents go on to test positive for marijuana. I'm like, only 1/3? That just means if you don't smoke weed, you're twice as likely to die in a car accident. That's the best pro-pot statement I've ever heard in my life. It's ridiculous. Here was the absurd part of the D.A.R.E program. They start when you're 7. I'm like, why? I'm 7 years old. Why are you teaching me about heroin? Like, I could not figure it out. Like, I couldn't even tie my shoes. Like, what makes you think I could work a syringe? Like, you really think I'm going to be lighting up a spoon in the bathroom? I'm not even allowed to touch a lighter, all right? Also, my allowance was $5 every other week. Like, I'd have to save up 2 months just to buy generic Tylenol. I remember the D.A.R.E officer, he would bring he would do the presentation in the classroom. He'd have this case with like 40 windows in it, and each had a different drug in it. And now I'm an adult, I know there are only like 5 drugs. So what the fuck were they? What were they trying to tell us was in there? And he'd finish the presentation and go, all right, any questions? We're like, no, we do not have any questions about meth, sir. Like, we're 7. You think someone's gonna be like, yeah, okay, so if I get Sudafed PM and I crush that up real good and put some ethanol in it, I can put that on the streets within 48 hours? Like, wait, no, we don't have meth questions, man. He's like, no questions at all? I'm like, oh, I have one question. He's like, yeah, young man? I'm like, yeah, is that a real dog? He's like, yes, it is a real dog. I'm like, no further questions, Your Honor. That's all I got. We did a field trip to the county jail. Do you know how absurd that is? In 3rd grade, we did a field trip to the this wasn't Scared Straight. This is just a class. Not to look at the jail. We served 6 hours of time behind bars with other people who were in jail. We spent an entire school day behind bars. Our teacher was on the outside like a guard, and we sat on this like long like picnic table thing just watching guys play dominoes for cigarettes. That was our field trip. And we're, when you're 8 years old, you have that thing where like, you think you can blend in with adults, like you don't realize that it's pretty clear you're a kid. So you're just like, hey, what are you in for, man? What are you in for? Oh, arson? Cool. Me? I shouldn't say. Field trip? Yeah, actually, yes. Field trip, yes. Very ill-advised field trip is what I'm in for. How could you tell? Is it because I'm 3 feet tall and wearing a t-shirt that says soccer?